Enchanting services are one of the few things that keep us in touch with the rest of Skyrim. The local Nords may not like us very much, but they don't seem to mind having access to enchanted weapons and armor. I need some more supplies. Can you help out with that? I'm running low on Grand Soul gems. I need at least 5 more, if you can find them.
You are now in the Arcanium, of which I am in charge. It might as well be my own little plane of oblivion. Disrupt my Arcanium, and I will have you torn apart by angry Atronachs. Now, do you require assistance? A mage is only as good as what he knows. I try to make sure as much knowledge is available as possible. We've been keeping this collection since the Second Era. Books have come and gone during that time, but it's mostly intact.
As a matter of fact, there are. Have you ever heard of Shalador? Immensely powerful mage, back in the First Era. Had an understanding of magic few have ever matched. He holed himself up in Labyrinthian, and devoted all his time to research and study, but more than you would imagine possible. Since then, his writings have been scattered all over Skyrim, but are little use to anyone who can't translate them. I'm one of the few who can. I've heard whispers of more of his work having turned up. If you can track it down, it may prove useful to all of us.
Of course I do. If I didn't, most of these books would have been burned to ashes or dissolved to nothing before the Third Era. Mages need to be reminded to be careful around research materials. If you're feeling adventurous, I'm always looking for someone to procure valuable books from some more dangerous locations. Well, all right. Here. I scribbled down the last place I'd heard about. Check it out, but be careful.
I have a few things laying around that weren't worth adding to the collection. You may look through them.
You want something from me?
Greetings.
Speak quickly. Yes? Take a look. All right, then.
Eleanor, the library is in disarray. When books are strewn about here and there, it makes it impossible to determine if a book's been checked out.
I'm sorry. It's just the professors come in here and scatter the books without any concern for the person who has to clean up. I thought it might be more efficient if I waited until the end of the day to put the books back on the shelves.
And shall I be forced to wait until the end of the day as well? I will need to have a word with Hurog regarding your training.
I wonder if the librarian at Cyrodiil leaves all the cleaning duties to a single apprentice. I heard in the Dark Brotherhood they assign a listener just so people can vent their problems. I'm Master Groshub's apprentice. While I've been trained in the library arts, at the moment, my duties are rather limited. There isn't much that Master can't handle already. I'm more of an understudy, someone who takes over if and when he retires. Which, at this rate, will be anywhere between someday and never. No, and it's not an exaggeration. I know Master Groshub looks old, well, because he is. Way too old for an orc. The rumor around here is that he's immortal. As in, he measures time by the era. Which means, unless I start a competing library, I'm stuck being an apprentice forever. And who do you think the college will blame? The only girl in town who stands to gain from his death. No thanks. I'll just play the waiting game and hope Master Groshub chokes on a Horker loaf. Recently, I've been tasked with updating the college dictionary, which is a thankless but important job. Dictionaries are critical tools for preserving language, and they allow future generations to communicate with their ancestors. Yes, adding a single word can result in having to replace an entire section of the dictionary. I could shorten some of the other definitions so they fit on the page, but Master wasn't thrilled with that idea. I don't know if he was angry at me for taking shortcuts, or suggesting I abridge his research. Maybe both. Not necessarily. Master says spoken language is a living, breathing organism, always evolving and shedding old skin. In contrast, the written word is both living and dead. It's filled with babies and grandparents. My job is to introduce you to them. Just one. In the interest of efficiency, Master insists that I only make updates when there are at least 10 new words worth adding. Well, if he's going to be so rigid about it, I'm going to speed the process by developing some of my own. As much as I appreciate it, only a trained librarian is allowed to introduce new words into the annals. Sure. You know how people use animals as verbs or gerunds? Like ferreting out or squirreling about or wolfing down? Well, I thought, why not apply the same logic to trolls? I find trolls to be very fierce, but honest creatures. The way I see it, trolling could mean stating your opinion, but with honesty and passion. You know, the same way a troll fights. Great. Try using it at the tavern so it can grow organically. Pretty soon, everyone will start parroting it, because that's how trends work. The Arcanium is a very prestigious library, with many of its books going back to the Second Era. The more delicate tomes are kept under lock and key, but you're welcome to browse the outer collection at your leisure. Master Groshob has a list of books unfit for the collection. Frivolous works by academic standards, but still interesting reads. Talk to him if you want more information. Just the one. Let's just say Neri and Faralda are having Sergius enchant more than just items. Neri and Faralda are Altmer. They may not look it, but Sergius is probably half their age. All right, then.
There's been another dragon attack. Kinesgrove is...
passage is the safest way to travel. Where do you want to go? Climb and back, and we'll be off.